here. And there.
All right, we will call the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting for December 11th, 2023 to order with roll call, please.
David?
Here.
Bill?
Here.
Joyce?
Here.
Becky?
Here.
Ross?
Here.
Andy?
Here.
All's present.
Dave, you want to leave us in prayer, please?
Lord, thank you for the day you provided for us, Lord. And God, remember your wonderful, wonderful son's birthday. It's coming soon for Christmas. And Lord, be with our village and our council and our mayor and our law enforcement. And have your protected hand over us, Lord. And Lord, be with our country tonight in this great, great nation. In Jesus' wonderful, wonderful name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, I will ask for a motion to approve meeting minutes from a finance work session held on November 10th and 15th and a council meeting held on November 27th.
Have that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Yes.
David, Ross?
Yes. Roll call?
Okay, David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yeah.
Andy?
Yes.
Mayor's report, I will save my comments until roundtable. President Pro Tem, Andy?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few comments this evening. First, as this may be our last official council meeting of the year, fingers are crossed, I'd like to extend my appreciation for your service this past 4 years. I believe you are leaving the community in a better place than how you found it, and that in and of itself means everything. I have greatly valued your partnership, your spirit, and your enthusiasm to bring people together. You have many friends here, and your presence will be missed. Please come back and see us a few times. Do not be a stranger. As it is the holiday season, I'd also like to recognize our staff and all those who support the village in good times and not so good times, like at 2 o'clock in the morning on a frosty February morning when there's a water main break or there's another emergency. Your dedication does not go unnoticed, and you have our very, very, very best wishes for a happy and healthy, safe new year. For those of you who are frontline workers, including our partners at Tri-County Fire EMS and the Sheriff's Department, the community thanks you for your service this year. Your service each and every day means the world to us, and all of us hope that you are bored this holiday season, just sitting around. I hope you're not doing anything and you're just playing cards in the firehouse or sitting up in the sheriff's office and nothing's happening. That's what we want. May there be few runs to make over this holiday season and that you start the new year safe and sound, which is the most important thing. And it's also a little bit of a poignant time right now as well for those who are away from home in the armed services. We thank you, we miss you, and you keep us safe every single day, and we can't wait for the day when we pick you up from the airport or the bus station or wherever you come home from. Your community backs you 1,000% and prays for your return home safely. And finally, for all of those of us who have left this year for points unknown, however that may happen, we miss you very much, and we will see you again. Mount Sterling thinks of you, and you are a part of the fabric of this community. Thank you, Mayor, and I look forward to seeing all of you council members in the new year, and hopefully happy, healthy, wealthier, and wiser. And those are my comments for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. We have any public comments this evening? No executive session? When do we want to do the? No
You
meeting.
want to do it right now?
Yeah. Since we traditionally do not have a meeting at the end of the year, but we do have to run that past council, so do we have a motion to cancel the meeting that would be normally scheduled 2 weeks from now?
Would be November the 25th.
I'll give you that motion.
Yeah.
December
25th.
December 25th. I'm pretty sure we should not be meeting on that day.
No, we should not be meeting on Christmas,
December
so.
25th, okay.
You
Is
have that
there a
motion.
motion to cancel the December 25th meeting? Joyce, is there a second?
I'll second. Or Andy already had
No,
his
no, no,
finger
you're
up.
good, you're good, go ahead.
Joyce, Bill?
I know you all want to get your things in.
One last
the
hurrah.
meeting.
Stereo.
Yeah. Yes, please.
David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Andy.
Yes.
All right, we will have no meeting on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Department reports, Sheriff's Department. Deputy Dill, what have you got for us?
Well, I've got two reports up there, nature reports for you. Since I wasn't here at the last meeting, I attached it to it. You notice the one prior is the one on the back. There's quite a few more runs, calls for service on that one. They're starting to slack up as temperature starts to get colder. We usually get less calls, but the calls we do get are domestic, so. Does anybody have any questions on these?
Hey, Jack, have you any trouble with porch pirates being Christmas season? None yet?
None yet.
Good, because they just put a package on my porch.
Anyone? Thank
No
you.
questions? Okay. That's all I have. Wish you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You as well.
No law director's report? Yes. Ooh. Village Administrator, Mr. Byrne. You're up.
Thank you very much, Mayor Darlington, members of council. I have no report tonight. I just want to say, Mayor Darlington, it's been an honor to serve you. And members of council, we'll look forward to next year. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Anyone?
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Sorry, Jack. Was there a wager down there?
Questions?
Zoning and building, do we have anything from Mr. Hale? Fiscal officer, that takes us to you,
All right,
Slicker.
so I didn't receive any comments, questions, or concerns. So, as you know, I've been working hard and, again, the year-end stuff, budgeting stuff, so, once we get past tonight, then I can really run fast, well, walk swiftly. So I don't have any, issues or comments or anything as we start to wind down the year. I always report this as the revenues were higher than what was budgeted. Expenditures definitely were, lower than what was expended, which is to be expected. We won't find final numbers until at the end of the year when we do have to, and I have to submit stuff to the state. But it was looking good. I also wanted to, I'm sure we'll have a little something at roundtable with Marcy. But it's been 4 years, but it's been long 4 years. It really has. And, it's been good working with you and having you come in here every day, so it'll be a little weird not seeing you come in here. So I'm
Thank
sure
you.
we'll talk later about that at roundtable.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Courtney in regards to her reports? Do you want to ask for, do you have any to be approved?
Yes, yep. So I have, the bank rec I do have here, again, what will happen for December's bank rec, I have to have that done in order to close out my year. So, the beginning of the year, you guys will get that bank reconciliation. It will look no different than this. There was no adjustments, that was on this month's, and no outstanding receipts, also to be posted, but, everything's been accounted for the month of November, so you guys will be, citing this one as well. So I would like to have a motion to approve the, appropriation status report, the revenue status report, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, the comparison of budget and appropriated report, the cash summary report, the reader report, and the bank reconciliation for November, 2020.
You have that motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
Ross? David Ross?
David and Ross.
Roll call?
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Okay, and I will pass this around for you.
All right, thank you. Committee reports, finance, Andy.
Yes, we met on December the 6th, had a productive meeting, primarily wrapping up the year, as Courtney has mentioned, trying to figure out what January is probably going to look like. Needed to make sure that all the funds were balanced. They are, but water has been a perpetual perpetual issue this year, and it's been challenging throughout the year to make sure our forecasts are right. We ended up about 8% off of where we should be. That's better than expected, but not as good as we had hoped. So we'll have to watch that the first of the year. As far as the rest of the meeting, paid bills, signed checks, got things done. Look forward to seeing you all in January. I would tell you when that is, but we haven't set any dates yet, so look for the website to be updated.
Thank you.
That's all my report.
Pleasant Township, David.
Yes, we had a meeting and we talked about the upcoming winter season, talk about what to prepare for in 2024, which is just around the corner now, and paid the bills.
Okay, thank you. Squad, Joyce.
We have not met yet. We'll be meeting Wednesday evening on 12/13 at 8:00 p.m.
Thank you. Fire, Ross.
Our last meeting was 11:30, and the old business was there was a BWC grant that they had received for $7,800, and that was to be used on protective gear. They discussed the levy, of course, and we paid the bills, and they said that the runs had slowed down slightly, and they were hoping for a breather, but they were expecting them to pick up with the weather getting worse. Our next meeting's at 8:00 on Thursday, the 28th of December.
Thank you. Water, wastewater, Joyce.
We have not met since our last meeting, so I don't have an updated report.
Okay. Street, Becky.
Yes, we met tonight and just kind of discussed year end like everyone is doing. And as I told them, depending on who, is in charge of streets next year, that's when the meeting will be. We don't know yet, so all's good.
Parks and Rec, also, Becky.
I do have a little bit of news on that front. The playground is done. The 3 bays of swing sets are done. I actually swang on one of them tonight. They are awesome. We have swings for toddlers. We have swings for big kids. We have swings, they're called Mommy and Me, for an adult with a toddler. We have swings for the handicapped as well, that recline swing out there. So we are very proud of those 3 bays of swing sets that we added, and we're grateful for the grant that paid for those. No money came out of the village coffers for that, and we have big plans on trying to capitalize on more grants next year. So I hope I am appointed to that committee next year. It's been very rewarding. So that's all I have on that.
Record of retention, Andy.
We have not met since our last meeting, which was December the 1st at 8 a.m., and we'll get it on the calendar to meet again. But again, we're always looking for volunteers, so if you'd like to come down and help us, please do. Raise your hand, and we'll be happy to have you. Love to have you.
Nuisance and abatement, Joyce.
And again, we have not met since the last meeting, so there aren't any updates. We do still have some, I can think of 2 or 3 outstanding nuisance issues that we are working on with Courtney, and Courtney's made those phone calls, and I've been out of town for the last week or so, so she and I will get together later this week.
Safety block watch, Bill.
Have not had another meeting. We canceled the one for this month. We'll be hopefully having one next month. However, as a council as a whole, we're going to be very busy next month. So we'll see what happens.
All right, planning, Andy.
Have not met, don't have any current applications for changes. If we do, we'll let you know and we'll call a meeting.
Zoning, Becky.
Nothing as well.
Okay. Tree beautification.
We do have our last meeting of the year this Thursday at 1:00, and our application for Tree City was submitted, and I believe everything's in order, and we will be getting that award next year. Again, a very rewarding committee, so I appreciate the appointment there, and that's all I have.
All right, that takes us to ordinances and resolutions.
Okay, so this one will be placed on a 3rd reading. This is ordinance 2023-11, an ordinance to make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Mount Sterling for the state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024.
Okay, is there a motion to place this on the third reading?
You have that motion?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Joyce, David?
roll call?
David?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
No.
Ross?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Now is there a motion for passage of ordinance 2023-11?
I'll give you that.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Ross was first.
Ross?
Ross was first.
Okay, and then Bill?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, Andy, and then.
Andy and Ross.
Sounds like a law firm.
Okay, all right.
okay, Andy.
And
Ross,
Ross, yes.
okay.
And roll call, please.
All right, Bill?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
No.
Ross?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023-11.
David.
Hey, you forgot me.
Got Dave.
I'm forgotten.
Already failing.
It's been a long year.
It's a whole, I'll say my
Let me
yes.
state that last
Yeah.
passage.
Let's try that again.
This was a motion for passage, just for the viewers. Andy was placed the first motion, Ross the second. Bill was a yes, Joyce was a yes, Becky was a no, Ross was a yes, Andy a yes, and David.
A nice unknown soldier.
And you,
And your
vote?
vote
Yes.
is-
Yes.
Okay. All right, ordinance 2023-11 has passed. I apologize for that. It's not getting it. All right. Okay, the very last one is a resolution. This is a resolution 2023-07, a resolution authorizing Marcy Darlington or her designee to enter into an agreement with Rumpke Waste Services for the village's solid waste collection and disposal. Third reading.
Is there a motion to place this on the third reading?
You have that motion?
Okay,
Second.
David and Joyce.
Okay.
Roll call?
Joyce,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
And now I need a motion for passage of resolution 2023-07.
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
Second.
Bill,
Okay.
Joyce,
yes. Roll call?
okay, Becky,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes.
All right, resolution 2023-07 has passed.
Wonderful. All right, that takes us to roundtable. What do we got?
I want to thank the Nazarene teens for the wonderful nativity scene. Them young people, they was lucky it wasn't severe cold, and they saw me walk up, and I kind of, it's so good to see teens involved with their church, and that's really good. And also, I know being Mayor, Marcy is always a long and windy road, and there's some good days and goods, but Marcy was so great to work with you the past 4 years. And just, you've been a mayor, but Joy's been a good friend of mine too, and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd like to speak. I want to talk about Christmas in the Village just for a second. I know it is a village event, and I'm very proud of everyone that pitched in from the village, but it's also sponsored in part largely by the Chamber of Commerce, and I just want to thank all of the businesses, all the residents that volunteered or donated. Again, the businesses were this year even more generous. You know, it takes a lot of work when you've got 1 week between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we transformed it into what it was. You know, the biggest compliment that we received was it looked like a Hallmark card. We had, you know, the strolling carolers that were the barbershop quartet kind of thing, and it was just really awesome. Every year we take, you know, a lot of pride in everything that we do. We try to do events that we think, you know, the children and the older people will enjoy, and there's always room for improvement, but I think every year, you know, we keep making it better and better, and you know, again, I'm grateful for everyone in the village that did pitch in and helped with their time or their money or their, you know, thoughts. Just coming out is a big deal. So again, we had a marvelous turnout. Thank you to the Sheriff's Department too for leading the parade and following the parade. we did have a lot of people, unfortunately, and they weren't village residents that kept cutting through our barriers. And it was unfortunate, but the fortunate thing was no one was hurt. And, you know, next year we might just have to talk more with the deputies and ODOT and have better, you know, I know we're ordering more barriers next year, which we're excited about. Those will help for the safety of everything that the village does throughout the year. So, you know, really do appreciate everyone's hard work. So if you did not make it, you really, really missed out. It was awesome.
I
So,
did get a couple of phone calls on the mayor's line too, talking about how nice it was.
oh, good.
Cool.
Good, that's awesome.
You couldn't beat the weather. It was absolutely
Yes.
gorgeous.
Compared to last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Compared to last year, it's
Yeah.
much better. Fantastic.
And all the
Good
food,
turnout.
all the food trucks sold out. I think the vendors all did great, and it was just the kids. Next year we'll have more artists, more caricature artists. That was a very popular thing, but we'll. If you have any suggestions or comments, good, bad, or indifferent, you know, we'd appreciate it. We do have a chamber meeting this Thursday at 5 o'clock. Anyone's welcome to attend. And, you know, we'll take stock of everything that happened. And please come and give your input. Or if you just want to volunteer for something, come. That's all I had.
Yeah, as long as we're having happy thoughts here, this is roundtable. We always try to do, you know, leaving the meeting on a good note. One of the things that we've been working on this past week is a grant application. The county developmental disabilities office reached out to all municipalities in the county and said, hey, there might be some money that comes available. This is very short notice, but is there anything you'd like to in terms of accessibility in your community, is there anything, you know, you'd like to apply for? And we said, heck yes, there is. Why are we sitting on our hands on this? And so over the course of the last 3 days, we've been talking with Tom and we've been talking internally about what can we throw on a list, whether it's park improvements or ramp improvements out front or crosswalks or any kind of safety and accessibility things that we can get out there, we should. And so I'm pleased to say that I think we can get an application in with this council's permission. I'd like to go ahead and send over to the county office a request for dollars. I don't honestly, as I sit here, know how much we can get. Why? Because it's going to be sprinkled throughout Ohio. Ohio has 88 counties. Every single one of them can apply or not apply, as the case may be. So we, you know, like we've been saying all along this year, we apply for literally everything we can. We swing for the fences. We get some, we don't get others, but we should try. And that's what we're going to do with this one. So
And the good thing about it is that there's not a contribution.
there's no match
So
required.
there's no match.
So that's a pretty big deal. You didn't hear me in finance say, hey, by the way, I need 90 grand for a match. This is no match. This is straight up grant money. And so this is the best kind. We fight like all get out for this kind of grant. So
It's not guaranteed, but
not
it's-
guaranteed in the least, but we should show up and at least put our hand out. So we should do that.
Good thing.
So you need
Yeah, would you like to ask?
yeah, so can we have a motion to
Apply for
apply for this grant?
Give the motion.
MRDD grant.
MRDD, yeah,
Thank you. I'll second that to
Okay.
build.
That was Bill, Andy?
yeah, roll call?
Can I ask a
Yep,
question?
Yep.
Do we have any time left? I know this has to go in like tomorrow.
It has to go in tomorrow.
Like to
We were not,
make a suggestion?
we were not informed and unfortunately until Thursday. So here we are. We're scrambling and worked over the weekend.
Okay. I was just, when you mentioned that it was MMRD grant related, those playgrounds that all went in all came with a ramp. So they all do have a ramp. And like I mentioned before, we have 3 handicap swings. But there's this little space about this far to the blacktop on each of them. It would, you know, if you need something else to add to the list, there's a little, like where the.
We did put park money in.
Good, because it's where the walking path would connect to the ramp. It's just probably an 8-foot distance or something. Okay, great.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Okay, so that was Bill, Andy,
Yeah, roll call, please.
David,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
More to come on that.
More to
Fingers
come.
crossed.
Fingers crossed. Everybody knock on wood, please. think happy thoughts.
I have a quick question. Are we,
Yeah, we're around.
I know, Andy is moving on to mayor. Congratulations, here in a couple of weeks. And there will be a council seat come open. Are we going to begin taking like applications or letters of interest? So at the first of the year, we can actually appoint someone and not miss a beat?
Traditionally, we wait to go ahead and have our first council meeting, to go ahead and seek council approved rules, and then go ahead and open a seat and ask for applications. That's what we've done in the past.
So basically, everybody, if you're interested.
If you're interested, certainly you can reach out, but
ready
we'll
to-
be, official business always happens the first meeting of the year.
Okay. Well, it's down to me.
Well, back to Becky's
Oh,
question.
yep.
So you got, well, I mean, just so that the public knows, I mean, you guys will still, you know, the letters of interest, not a resume, but interested people would still submit to us.
For sure, if you want to reach out, that's fine, but I just want to set expectations that probably will not be seating a first person, the first council meeting of the year, because that's our organizational meeting.
Rules of council.
Rules of council and all that, that always happens the first one. It would most likely happen after council has an opportunity to see who the candidates are, interview them, and then obviously seat them the next, it would be the following meeting.
Yeah, because you would have to have a public meeting. in order to
Exactly,
hold
right,
interviews in executive session. is
Correct.
general.
Well, Andy, will we
Right.
pick, Andy, will we pick pro temp at our first meeting, or do we wait till we get the map?
First meeting is always an organizational meeting, so the short answer is yes, that
Okay.
should happen,
Like the attorney will be here, the rules
Right.
of council.
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Or will
Yeah,
we
you would have
short
to-
one council person
Right.
at that meeting?
Correct.
Would you guys would still be able to approve?
Yep, we'll
The
have
majority
quorum.
will be here. So you guys would have executive session to have
Okay.
interviews.
Okay.
And then a subject to come out to, yeah, it has to be a public meeting.
Yep.
Okay, that takes it down to me. Tonight's council meeting was the last official meeting of my term as mayor for the village of Mount Sterling. I came into this role with very little experience in public service, aside from my job as Parks and Rec Director for the village of West Jefferson and 8 months on council here before being named mayor. It has been full of ups and downs and a whole lot of sideways, beginning just 3 months in as we faced all the craziness that surrounded COVID. Overall, the village made it through this crisis better than expected, but not without our own tragic losses of income, freedoms, and precious lives cut short by the horrible pandemic that plagued our world. People in general seem to think that public service roles are easy, and why can't those who serve do better at what they're elected to do? And why does it take so long for them to do it? Well, to be honest, I was one of those people too. That is before taking on this position, one which I decided to do by throwing my hat in the ring. I was going in with the notion that a good, positive attitude could win every battle. Though that is a good tool to have in your handyman's box, being a public servant requires that you have different tools for every scenario that comes your way. And that's because there are so many opinions and ideas on how to handle things. One of the first things you learn in public service is that your own ideas, though you thought they were genius, aren't always the best idea. And yes, someone else will be taking credit for that particular idea or solution. But a good leader will not care whose idea is best or who will stand up and take the credit as long as it best serves those in our communities. There have been many great ideas that have been brought forward by our citizens, some through these very meetings, but many through the interactions of council and our staff with our citizens. Some have been discussed and put into action, while some ideas did not make it through to fruition. That doesn't necessarily mean the idea or concept was bad, just that it didn't best serve the public at that given time for whatever reason. But that doesn't mean folks should give up bringing their ideas to the table. We need your ideas, your perspectives. You may be seeing something other than these 6 council members are, and maybe we're not understanding. We need your ideas. We need your thoughts, and at times, we even need your criticisms to make sure that we have and we keep our house in order. We need you. I am proud to say that over the past few years, things are starting to trend on a positive upward trajectory, and you, our citizens, deserve nothing less. Mount Sterling residents are very aware that we have had a few blemishes in previous decades that often made us the butt of jokes within the county and the state. But through dedication and hard work by our amazing staff and our recent councils, things are changing for the positive. People aren't laughing at us anymore. They are applauding us for our resolve. They are cheering us on to better things that are coming. And yes, better things are coming. We just need to be patient. Better things are coming, and pride will once again swell up in this village. But we see it now anyway in the new homes and businesses taking up shop with the amazing events and activities witnessed not only by our residents, but those folks traveling through that might stop here on their way to Deer Creek or some other destination. They visit our shops and stay for lunch or dinner, or they take a part of Summer Jam or Christmas in the Village, and they are taken back by our charm and hospitality, and they want to come back. And they do come back, and some even settle here, and it's because of all of you. Telling council your ideas and never giving up. Never giving up on this beautiful little treasure of a town in Madison County. Never giving up on how great you know this village is, and knowing how it will keep getting better and better as we move forward. In closing, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to be your mayor and to say that I couldn't have done it without the support of so many people, including the mayors of Madison County, Plain City Mayor Jody Carney, London Mayor Pat Closser, West Jeff Mayor Ray Martin, along with Village Services Director John Mitchell, who helped us champion the idea of shared services. These mayors were a great source of information and encouragement and have assured me that they will continue to be there for our next administration. The amazing folks with the Madison County Chamber and the Mount Sterling Chamber, Billy Martin and the American Legion, who have given countless dollars in donations and support, Christy and Tom, who weren't here this evening, from West Jefferson Building and Zoning, that have helped us immensely as we begin to grow and look forward into a great future. Our attorney, Stephen Smith, with Frost Brown, who has always had our backs. Sheriff Swaney and all the deputies that help keep our citizens safe, as well as Jack here being at our meetings and giving us our reports and always watching out for us. We appreciate that. Chief Taylor and both his fire and EMS staff, who I'd like to give an extra thank you for the many times they stopped at our home to help or transport my parents while they were living with us. Their kindness at all hours will never be forgotten. This council before you, who fight for all of you more than you will ever realize. And then there's our amazing staff. Misty and Stacy, who are the face of the village when you first walk in the door. They are the sweetest things that ever could be. Courtney Bricker, who helped pull us out of fiscal emergency. Can't be said enough, the things that you've done for this village. And I can't tell you, when I first came on board, and I may have shared this once before, the fact that Courtney and Misty were out there directing traffic during a water main break, it just floored me, but it's no job too small or too big, right? Tom Byrne, you've been a godsend, let me just tell you, this last year, especially with all the things that I have had to go through, and you being here, making sure everything was up and the lights were on and the doors were locked at the end of the day. Appreciate that. Jeff Martin, who isn't here this evening, for running the Parks and Rec department and making sure he gets the fields ready for all the teams that are out there, collecting donations from people. He's just an amazing individual. Joe and George, our utility workers, we all know the countless hours that they work. It's unbelievable. Also, the many volunteers that have helped with committees, events, beautification, etc., store owners and businesses that put their faith in the people of Mount Sterling to help keep them in business in this village. Finally, to my friends and family that have given me their unwavering support, my thanks and love to all of you, especially my husband John, who was with me all the way as both a sounding board, but more often a voice of reason, which I admit I needed from time to time. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, and I look forward to being with you all as we see and celebrate the great things coming to Mount Sterling. And for that, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're always a good writer. She is. She always writes very
Thank
well
you.
speeches.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you as well. You. Every minute.
Goods, the bads. Nice job.
In